Hello, hello. Welcome to the Spiritual Warrior YouTube Live. It's been a while since I've been on here, but the intention is we're going to be going back to YouTube Lives every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And we go over different topics, a different topic every Tuesday, and a topic related to spirituality, what it means to be a spiritual warrior, what it means to be a spiritually led human being during this time of great change and shift and ascension. And we talk about these things. And the reason we talk about them is so that you feel empowered, you feel held, you feel seen, because what it means to be a spiritual warrior is to be a badass leader during this time. Okay, so let's talk about spiritual narcissism. What is that? Now, the word narcissist gets tossed around and thrown around a lot, especially lately. Like, they're a narcissist. She's a narcissist. I'm a narcissist. A clinical narcissist is, I don't want to say that they're rare, but someone who is diagnosed with a narcissistic personality disorder, they're different. That's different from someone who's has narcissistic traits or narcissistic ways of being. Now, here's the honest truth, right? Humans, we are selfish. As much as some humans are more generous than others, but we think about ourselves a lot. Even when we're thinking about ourselves and it's like, I suck, or I'm not good enough, or this, that is a level of selfishness. Even when we're beating ourselves up and we're in a deep level of, like, even if we're not like in an ego place, even thinking about ourselves in that way is a level of selfishness, because when we're in that space, we're not thinking about other people. We're not thinking about how do we be generous. We're thinking about, I'm not even good enough to be generous, that kind of thing. So on some level, we're all a little bit narcissistic. Now, then there's the like clinical narcissist, and this is a person who doesn't take responsibility for things, doesn't really feel compassion or empathy, is highly manipulative. And there's different kinds of narcissists: covert narcissists, grandiose narcissists. The covert narcissists are a little bit harder to know and recognize, but there is the grandiose narcissist, is the one that's like the life of the party, really charming, that kind of thing. But today we're going to be talking about the spiritual narcissist. I have had many, too many relationships with narcissists as an empath and as someone who was very wounded, and really, I had like a hole in me that said, like, I needed to feel that someone saw me, see me, love me. And narcissists used to be very attracted to me because I would fall into, oh my God, they're paying attention to me. I feel like they get me, they see me. So I've had a lot of that type of relationship in my life, not just with romantic, but with friendship as well. And I think I'm finally at a place where I'm really good at spotting them, but I don't know. I've had a relationship with them. Let's just talk about spiritual narcissism. Now, to put it in a very blanket term, the spiritual narcissist leads and lives in spirituality through their ego, does not through their humility. It's not through service. It's not through any of that. It's through ego. It's through ego. Now, we can go extreme, right? Like, if we think about a cult leader, a spiritual cult leader, that is a spiritual narcissist. I know that that is an extreme example, but that is a spiritual narcissist. Someone who believes that they are the savior, someone who believes that they're better than everyone else and that people should follow them and do what they say because they've been touched or led or are closer to God than anyone else. And oftentimes with any kind of narcissism, they're very smart and they know how to be in relationship with people and reel them in. And that's when, once you're like relaxed and once you're in, that's when the abuse starts. That's when the gaslighting starts. That's when the manipulation starts. So if we think about a cult leader, someone who's leading large groups of people and people have like given them their power, then they're able to be in that relationship with them, and they want to be fed. They want to be fed your power. And that is another thing. Narcissists want your energy and they want your power. And when it comes to like the spiritual narcissist, we see that many people will just keep using the cult as an example, give their power away to a cult leader, particularly, especially the spiritual cult leader, thinking that they are the guru, that they know everything. Now we're leading away from the time of the guru. I think, I don't know. I'm hoping, because the guru is that can fall into the trap of the spiritual narcissist. Now, not every guru is a narcissist, but what makes someone more special than someone else? So I had an email, this was like last year or something, and this woman wrote me an email to tell me she took time to, out of her busy day, to write me an email and tell me she's taking herself off my email list because she's more spiritual than I am. And I was like, you just played all your cards, like that is, I don't know if she's a spiritual narcissism, but that is spiritual narcissist. Like watching someone who, like myself or someone else who is out in the world doing courageous things, being courageous, coming on here, it's courageous. It takes time, it takes energy, and it takes courage, but she had to take the time out to like knock me down and tell me that she was better than I am. Who is the person to measure that? Who am I to say, I know more than you, I'm more spiritual than you, I'm closer to God than you? Who am I to say that? Who is anyone to say that? And so a spiritual narcissist, someone who's acting in that, they lead by their ego. And they think that they're better than you. And what's particularly dangerous about it is because they're playing in these energies of spirituality, and they're playing in these very, very powerful energies. So I had a teacher once, and it took me a very, very long time to realize that I was dealing with a narcissist. And again, because I give my power, I used to be very attracted to narcissists. And it took me a while. And then when I realized it, I saw it everywhere. But she led by ego. And and she was super smart. And I learned so much from her. Like there's so many things I learned from her that I still use today. Her teachings were amazing. But once you started like putting your guard down and she got you in her inner circle, that's when you started to see the narcissistic abuse come out, and you started to see the ego. I wasn't the only one. Like there was like, it happened. Like she just couldn't keep up the facade for too long if you were staying with her. So the things I saw her do were so dangerous because she was so smart, and because we were in these energies of shamanism and energy medicine and these very powerful modalities. And she was really good with energy, and she could read people. I watched her use people's wounding against them. So if you have a spiritual teacher and they know you and they know where your woundings are, and they use your wounding against you, or to manipulate you, or to call you out, or to shame you, or to make you feel bad, run away. Like run away, and run away fast. Now, people who teach spirituality or teach a spiritually led, have a spiritually led business, for me, it's about humility, because I have one of those, right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, but you want to be around people that are humble and do not think that what they're doing is better than what you are doing. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has a place where they're going to, and where they get to go. And for me, this is what I want to do with my life. What I want to do with my life is lead people. What I want to do with my life is teach. What I want to do with my life is empower other people. And I'm no more talented than you or someone else. The only thing is, this is what I want to do. So I trained to talk to people, talked on camera, take leadership courses. I've put time and energy into that, not because I think I'm better, but because that's what I want to do. And that's where I want to focus my energy. When you are, here is another red flag. Man, I've had a lot of narcissism in my life. I had a business coach who I paid a bunch of money to, that went sideways really, really fast, really fast. And I didn't realize that I was dealing with a spiritual narcissist. And see, this is part of my path, is learning what's my part in this, where do I give my power away to people. Like, I had the guru complex, like, you're better than me, I'm not good enough, oh yeah, teach me, teach me, teach me. And that was my wounding, right? That was my wounding. And I still have that a little bit. I got to be careful. Anyhow, so I just didn't see in the spirit, the narcissistic part of her. And now I see it all over her copy, like all over her Facebook posts. I see it all over her talks. I see it everywhere. And here was the red flag. Like, once I started seeing it, all she does is talk about herself. She doesn't talk about how she's going to help you. She's going to talk about how she talks about how special she is and how it's the privilege to work with her. She's using, and people fall for it. I fell for it too. She's like, I am so amazing and I'm so tapped in to all the codes and portals and to God that I have the answer. Give me your money because I have the answer, because I'm tapped in. So when you're looking for spiritual teachers, really looking around to see, what does their copy say? And it's fine to give like a vulnerable share of your experience. I mean, it's like when you see someone talk vulnerably and from the heart, then you feel like you can trust them. That is amazing. But there's a difference between sharing vulnerably, and also just airing your dirty laundry to people and just dumping on people through their copy or through your videos. That's very different to talking about themselves in every single turn in their copy or in the way they talk. That is a red flag. And so this is what I would like to leave you with. There's a lot of people out there, and like, there's a lot of people in the online space. And what I've seen happen is, like, some people who start off with really, really good intentions, and they start to make money. Not everyone, but they start to make money. And it feels good, right? People are paying you for your wisdom or for your teachings or for whatever. And that feels good. And I've seen people go sideways. I've seen people get off of the original mission and vision they had. But there's a lot of people out there. And so just be careful, because you will, if you start looking for it, and it's not about being paranoid, but looking at, like, are they humbly led in what they're leading you with? Are they using their people's wounding against them? Are they bitching about their past clients and making everybody wrong? Are you noticing that you're giving your power away to them? Like, oh God, you're so great. You're so great. You're so great. You're so great. It's okay to tell people I admire your work, but we all know the difference, because I've done it too, where I'm like, that person knows more than I do. That person's better than me. Now, I still seek out teachers. Because I want to keep growing. And there are some people that do know more than me in certain ways, and I want to teach them, but it doesn't define the people I want to work with. What they know doesn't define their ego. It doesn't define who they are. So the spiritual narcissist is one of the most dangerous personalities out there, because they are using these very powerful modalities to manipulate people. And I've been involved with 2 of them throughout my career, and it took a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of perseverance to get there, to undo the damage that was done. Now, I willingly was in relationship with them, and it's part of my path to see my worth. I go the opposite way, where a narcissist is like they feel like they know their worth. But here is the real truth about an actual clinical narcissist, like someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. They're not like, not just having narcissistic traits, like a real disorder. Underneath all of that is extreme insecurity and extreme wounding. And what they've done is if their wounding is here, they have absolutely isolated the wounding within themselves, the core wounding, and put ego and padding and money and all of this stuff around the wounding so that they don't have to feel it. But they're very sensitive. But what we're dealing with the NPD is this around here. And then you add someone who is playing in the spiritual realm. They're usually very smart and they're very manipulative. This is how these cult leaders make it to having so many people give them out power, give them money. Whereas someone like you and I, for me, I want to know, I'm okay like feeling my wounding. I'm okay with that, even though sometimes I've made decisions that have been led by my wounding, such as getting into a relationship with someone who's narcissistic. So I'm going to leave you with this. Follow your gut. When something feels off, it's off. Do you know what I mean? It usually is off. We question our intuition way too often. And the woman I told you about, like, gave her money, a business coach. I saw red flags all along the way, and I chose to ignore them. And it was a lesson, that a very, very expensive lesson that I had to go through once again to see, because I want to see the highest in everyone. I want to see that. And sometimes that is just doesn't work, right? To play in this like la land. And the sad news is that, I mean, it's not sad. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. That here on earth, we're dealing with all kinds of energies, all kinds. We're dealing with, it is a playground and a library of learning of different energies. That's it, So when you're on your own spiritual journey, as you're on your own journey, my invitation to you is, sometimes you're going to feel, there's a difference between feeling really confident and empowered than being led by your ego. And it feels really good to be in your power, and that's where you should be. And then just check yourself. Am I in humility? Am I comparing myself to other people? Am I feeling better or less than? Or am I honoring my journey where it is and feeling really good, empowered, and connected to where I authentically am? So just going to leave you with that. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and thank you so much for being with me here on Tuesday. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. We are working on getting the message out there. But if you could subscribe, that would be super awesome. All right. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you here next Tuesday at 8 a.m.